guys, thanks so much today for joining. Yeah, thank you guys today for joining. So, I just am. I'm sorry for the for the lateness, for the late information that I passed out there for all my fans on TikTok, Instagram, as well as on Facebook. Yeah. So, I'm currently here now on the on the YouTube platform where I'll be performing or where I'm going to do a live show now concerning the upcoming German election. There are a lot of things that are happening with respect to this German election, but for now, I would just want to focus on the key things, to talk about the key things with respect to this election. Well, so as you all know, I remain your one and only one, the game changer, the epitome of the mindset. Yeah, so number two, no day, now only me one day. So in this video, I will talk a little bit. This will be a 1 hour show. This is going to be a 1 hour show. Yeah, so and the topic of discussion will be particularly on the upcoming German election. We call it in German the Bundestagswahl, that will be taking place in exactly 3 weeks from today. In exactly 3 weeks from today. So if you calculate that you fall on the date of the 23rd of February, which is this month. So once again, thank you so much. Greetings from this side to all my televiewers, everyone who is currently watching us now like this. So I'm on live now on this show. Please just keep on sharing, keep on sharing, keep on sharing. Share that it goes out and reach there. So just a moment, let me also try to share it right now. Let me also try to share it right now. So just a moment, I'm trying to share it right now as well. So yeah. So you're back here on YouTube live. So thanks so much, guys, for your time. And I'm so grateful that you are all here. I'm so grateful that you are all here. So let me just take 2 to 3 minutes where I'll be doing one or two sharing to all my Facebook platform, to all my Facebook platforms, Facebook and the other platforms. So let me just try to do one or two sharing now. Just a moment, please. Just a moment, please. Just a moment, please. Yeah. Yeah, so this has been done. So the thing is, we are going now. We shall be talking more on the German election. They call it the Bundestagswahl. Yeah, so I'm sorry on this. I was unable to insert the topic of this discussion. Yeah, so that is what I've been trying to see. That is what I've been trying to see, but I've been unable to share the topic. Just a moment. Just a moment, let me try and see something here now. Just a moment, please. 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 Yeah, so I've been trying to make this share now. Or let me see if I can manage it like that. Just a moment. Just a moment, please. Just a moment. Just a moment. Just a moment. Yeah, so I'm unable to do that, but hopefully I will do it next time. So we shall be talking today particularly about the upcoming German election. So I remain your one and only one, as I said already, the game changer. Yes, so in a couple of days, or in exactly 3 weeks, there will be the German Bundestagswahl, the German election. Yeah, so many things are already happening, and so the heat is already on. Campaigns are going on. You will hear politicians insulting others. This politician will be insulting this one, the other politician will be insulting this other one, and all those things. But it's the game of politics, and that's how it works in the Western world. If it would have, perhaps if it would have been somewhere in a developing country, you would have been hearing arrests of the respective opposition candidates and all those things and so on and so forth. You would have been hearing that. But we are in a Western country. We are in a Western country where you can't see all these type of things. You can't see all these type of things. They call a spade a spade. So that's how it is. They call a spade a spade. So everything that is going on in this upcoming election, we're going to get to, not everything I'm going to talk about today, but I will talk about the key things that I think are important. Yeah, are important as a foreigner for you to know. I think so, that it will be important for everyone to know. So that is why I've decided to come on here live, to bring to you this live show such that we can try to discuss this. We can try to discuss this. And for everyone who shall be joining, or if you come to watch the video after and you have a contribution to make, please feel free to share that contribution, because that is all what we want. Yeah. When Germany is good, us who are foreigners here, things will be as well good for us. Yes, things will be as well good for us. So we just have to look at it. One thing that we ought to know is that as a foreigner, if you are in a country and you are a foreigner, please, 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 feel free to behave like a foreigner. You can't be a foreigner and at the same time you think you are a German. Of course not. Of course not. Yes, of course not. I mean, your own children, if you are born from, if you and your spouse, you have a foreign background, and then your children are born here, perhaps those children we even look more German than even you, because they were born in Germany, but not you who came from somewhere. You understand? Not you who came from somewhere, because those children, they were born here. So if you want to take them to somewhere, you will take them to where? There's no place that you will take them. Some will say, oh, to their father's land, or some will say to their mother's land. What if the child's father is from a place like, let's assume Israel. Let's assume the child is from Israel, or the father is from Israel, and then perhaps the mother is from Gambia. How is everything going to look like? So if we live in Germany as foreigners, please behave like one. Behave as a foreigner. Whether you have a passport or you don't have a passport, if you are a foreigner, behave as a foreigner. Behave as a foreigner. It's simple. We are in Germany. It's not our country. It's a foreign country. But let's try to behave as a foreigner when we are here, because we are foreigners. Whether we like it or not, we are foreigners. Whether we like it or not, and we should try to behave like one. If the people say put their laws, they say they don't want this, they don't want that, they don't want that, there's no need for us to go against their laws. It's not our country. The reality of all this is that some of us, our origin, the countries where we came from, we can't even open mouth to say anything to the government. That is clear. We can't even open our mouth to say anything against the government. Because immediately you say something against the government, you'll be arrested and put to prison and put to jail. Perhaps you'll put to jail, awaiting trial for so many years. You'll still be awaiting trial. So that's the fact. But we are opportune to be in a country whereby there's freedom of speech. There's freedom of speech and freedom of so many things. Even though there are some that we cannot see, but call a spade a spade. Call a spade a spade. It is much better. We know that Germany, they have their harsh laws. But the fact remains is, it is much better than most, I can say most countries, most African countries. Let me call Africa because I'm from Africa. Let me put it that from Africa, Germany is much better. The system here is much better than most African countries where there is no freedom of speech, particularly in African countries, in areas such as Central Africa. You have Central Africa and some of those Francophonie countries, as well as some of those West African, East African countries, and so on and so forth, where if you say something against the government, you will be arrested and put to jail. So no matter what we say or whatever, the German system, the system in Germany has also given us that opportunity of freedom of speech that we have, that we can talk to the government. We can talk against the government. You can speak against the government, nobody will hold you. Even though you are a foreigner, you can still speak against the government. I mean, a foreigner who is having residence here, or something like that, you can still speak against the government. I will not advise somebody who is a political asylum seeker to go and start talking something rubbish against the government openly or something like that. I won't advise that. I won't advise, but it's just the system. So one just needs to be cautious and be careful on how somebody goes around. You know, if we see on social media platforms and also on the television, you hear politicians calling other politicians names. During these campaigns, as these campaigns are going on, you see politicians calling other politicians names. Like, for example, several times, you see, like, for example, I heard the AFD candidate Alice Viders said the other time that They were called rats by the Bundespresident, Frank-Walter Steinmeier, that they were called, all the AFD and its supporters were all called rats. Yeah, and in some other interviews like that, they also called the lady Nazi. But the thing is, one thing that I would like to talk about that point, I mean, about that particular thing, is when I come particularly to that point. But for now, let's go to matters arising. Yes, so as I said already, in a couple of weeks, there will be the German election, the German Bundestagswahl. And we have already seen how politicians are going gaga and going mad with policies, trying to put very tough policies, trying to put very strict policies, and all and so on and so forth. Yes. The thing is, if you watch one or two of my videos on Instagram or as well as on TikTok, you'll notice that I said there that whether they make which type of law or whether they come out with what type of policy, the country remains theirs. The country remains theirs. Yes. But the thing is, we have to look at it from our own point of view as well. Yes, because the way we look at it, it could be different from how some Germans they look at it. And it will as well be different from how some foreigners look at it. But the main thing there is that we all are looking at it in one or two different ways, either similar, same, or contrast. That's how it is. Okay, so let us start with some of this SPD. You know, SPD, normally SPD, they had the government for the last 3 to 4 years. They had the government, they were the leaders. I mean, they formed a coalition with the Greens and FDP. Well, we know that during their tenure, when they took over, things became so difficult for people. I mean, difficult for particularly for those who are working. Things become so difficult on those who are working. Why I emphasize on this point there is because it's good to hit the nail at the point where you, at the target, at the specified target. It's good to hit the nail at that particular point. There's no need to rush and be beating around the bush and say things that are not, one could think, oh, it's because of this, it's because of this. No, call it a spade. Yes. There are so many things. SPD, we all know that they are fucked up. Yes, SPD, they fucked up in this past 3 to 4 years because there are points that they say 520 euros job and all those things. Those, for me, I look at it that those were all scams. They were all scams. I would say it categorically clear from my own point of view. They were all scams. Yes, that's how I look at it from my own point of view. They were all scams. There are so many things that SPD they said that did not even work. During their time, they almost killed people with taxes. For those who are working, every time you go to do a tax declaration, they will always tell you to come and give back money. Only from the time that the SPD and its coalited partners took office, it started that bring back money, bring back money, bring back money, bring back money. Why? What for? Why? What for? All their things were just there based on taxes. As you, for example, people were buying benzene, fuel perhaps for €1.50. Let's assume €1.50, for example, €1.50. And the amount of tax that it was, that is in a liter of petrol, assuming petrol is €1.50, taxes will be closer to between 80 and 90 cents. Between 80 and 90 cents. Why? Why? This is to kill a common man. This is to tell a common man that you cannot have this type of, you cannot have a car. You cannot support a car and all those things. SPD has fucked up. Of course, they are fucked up. For real, they are fucked up. SPD and its coalition partners, they have fucked up. They fucked up in these 3 to 4 years. They fucked up big time. And that, I think that was one of the reasons why Germans got so angry. Because those who were working, it happened to be that they couldn't plan anything for themselves or their families, or for their respective families. They couldn't. Because the money is not there. How can you be working? You earn 5,000 gross salary. And at the tail end, they will deduct about 2,500 out of that money and give you 2,500 as net salary. Does it make sense? Does it make sense? It doesn't make sense. We all know that Germany, the pay system in Germany is totally rubbish. We all know. The pay system in Germany is totally rubbish. Because you can go to the university, bachelor, master's level. At the tail end, somebody who just went and did a crazy, useless, stupid house building could surely be earning more than you, who went to right up to master's or perhaps to PhD. It's good to say things that are clear, that are categorically clear. It's good to say them. That's why we are on this platform. How painful is it that you work for money that you cannot even have, you at the tail end, you have but half of that money, and the rest of that money will be cut perhaps and used to give 1 or 2 lazy folks who are there sitting at home, smoking cigarette or drinking or attending parties all the time. This was the policy. And if you see now in their placards, they have put everywhere in their placard in this upcoming election, more net salary. Are they stupid? Are they crazy? Who are they trying to deceive? Who are they trying to deceive? Now that elections are coming, everyone has come and is saying they are saying their own things. They are saying their own things. I think this thing that they impose taxes on everything, and particularly on burden, they inflict burdens and pains on those who are working. This is the cry why you see most expedients have moved away from the SPD party to AFD and to other parties too as well. That's how it is. Yeah, so that this part that I'm saying is the part of the SPD. As I said in one of my videos, whether it's SPD, the Greens, or the Linke, or the BSW, or AFD, or CDU, or CSU, or something like that, not everyone in these parties are good, are bad, or are ugly. We all have the good, the bad, the ugly in all of these parties. Politicians, it's always good to be careful with the words from politicians. The words from politicians are always good to watch out, to be watchful with it, because at times, most things that they will say during their campaigns, they will never be applied, they will never be applicable. They will never be applicable. They will never do the right thing. Politicians will never do the right thing. It's difficult for you to see politicians do the right thing. Because when they come, immediately they get that power. That's when their madness will just start. You start seeing the reality of who a politician is. That is when you start to see the reality of who a politician is. Quote me anywhere. So let me come now to CDU. We have seen that CDU, well, in one of my videos, I talk about Friedrich Merz. I call the name Merz for mess because he messed up. He messed up. You know, it's just like something that they will say a tradition. One thing that I noticed with Germans is that Germans are scared that they're not even scared, but they don't want their country to go back to that Nazi rule or that Nazi regime. They don't want it, and that is what they are scared. But I will come to that when I'm talking about the AFD. But we all know that days ago, Friedrich Merz, I will call it Merz because he has messed up. Friedrich Merz and AFD, they voted for a stricter migration policy. Stricter migration policy. But well, it happens to be that days after they voted for that thing and had the majority at the Bundestag, the Bundesparlament, on Friday, few days later, that policy was rejected. That policy was rejected. This is somebody, I'm talking about Friedrich Merz. This is somebody who said before or in the past, and I quote, with the AFD, there is no, they can't work together with AFD. Of course, when he made this proposal for a stricter migration policy, he did send it to all the other parties like the Greens, the SPD, the FDP, and all those things. But the Greens and the SPD rejected it. They rejected it. Wait, come closer. If you people take most, because they fail to understand, we know that there are illegal immigrants here. Everywhere in the world, there are illegal immigrants. We know that there are illegal immigrants everywhere. Yeah, but there are jobs that even people in that country cannot do. And who need this job? The illegal immigrants. That is what the US is now suffering. They say illegal immigrants should leave. But now the illegal immigrants, they have deported some, and some are refusing to go to jail. Some are refusing to go to work. The fact is that they are scared of being arrested and deported back to their countries. Now, who are suffering? The farmers are the ones suffering. The farmers in America are the ones suffering. And very soon you will hear price hike for food items in America. And it will be thanks to Donald Trump and his useless policy. I'm happy that an MP in Denmark tell him to off. Yes, I'm happy about that. Coming back to Friedrich Merz because he messed up. So let's call him Mr. Merz, Mr. Friedrich Merz, because he has messed up. So this policy, after the CDU or after him and CDU and AFD, they voted for a stricter migration policy, where the policy was on Friday rejected. A few days later, I think 3 days later, it was rejected by the Bundestag. They rejected that policy. This is somebody who already said he cannot do anything with AFD. Is it that he is just hiding himself and to show himself when he's already a German chancellor? Of course not. They are going to check all these things. They will sort them out one by each or one by one. They will sort them all out. He said, and I quote, "Mit AfD gibt's keine Zusammenarbeit. Hier bei uns auf dem Bundestag, da kann man gar nichts mit der AfD zusammenarbeiten. Why now?" He means, translated, if I can translate it, it means they cannot work together with AfD, the far right, as they call it. That's the point of the CDU and this. Stricter migration policy. And the Bundestag later rejected it I think, if I'm not mistaken, 3 days later. Okay. Let's now come back to remigration. Was quoted by the AFD leader Alice Weidel. So I'm talking now about AFD. We all know their candidates. The woman, Alice Weidel, who is married to a fellow woman. She's married to a fellow woman. The woman origin is from Sri Lanka. The both of them lived in Switzerland. I wonder how two women will mate and they give birth to 2 children, 2 boys. Alice Weidel and her partner, sorry, I don't even know whether she's married, but I know that she's having a partner. And the partner is originated from Sri Lanka. And she's a Swiss national. So she lives in Switzerland. Yes. I really don't think that any country in this world will allow themselves to be ruled by somebody of that type. I will not want to call the name here, but I don't think a leader or a country will allow itself or herself to be ruled by such a leader. We know in this world that God is a creator of the heavens and the earth, and he created two genders for human beings, male and female. And he said, a male and a female will meet to give birth to children. Yes. And all I know from my own side is straight, not burnt. But what she and her partner, they have is a burnt one, because that's not a straight way. If you see how she behaves, how she talks, and how she does her things, you notice that this one is not even a female, it's a male in disguise. The fact is, how could she even marry and they are doing and mating a woman and woman or a female and female mating? Well, that is their lives. But I don't think a country will allow herself to be ruled by such a leader. Well, we have heard all the policies that the AFD, they have put in place. Of course, it's not that they have all bad policies. No, it's not that they have all bad policies. All their policies are not bad, but they have very bad policies within their programs. They have very bad policies. They have very bad policies. We know that they have talked about of changing the energy system from dismantling all wind turbines and bring in nuclear or coal or something like that. Well, how they want to manage that or whatever is up to them. We know that they have talked about mere loan or mere netto for those who are working. That's more net salary for those who are working. Well, they want to manage that, it's up to them. We also know that they spoke a lot about migration. And there's a word that she used, re-migration. And that word, as I know, and from my research, was mostly used during the Nazi time. Re-migration. And this re-migration means Rückwanderung in German. Re-migration also in German. And in English, it also means return migration. That is to say, to deport people, particularly foreigners. Whether they follow the policies or not. And it also means that some people who already have indefinite stay here or having passport, all this can still be revoked and you send back to your country. But they are just playing games. I think they are just playing games with their words. Well, let me say something. After this lady was nominated to lead the party to the upcoming election, to be their chancellor, she talked about re-migration, and she was very hard on it. Re-migration, return migration. She talked about this. And that is what we make this party not to go further. I see a lot of Germans who left other parties, they are behind this party, but they are not seen. You know, the thing with Germany there, with a lot of Germans there, is that they are not visionary. They are not visionary. Germans are not visionary. Germans are all like this. Majority of them are like this. They see something, they don't talk. But if it's to gossip at workplaces, majority of them, if it's to gossip at workplaces, Germans are very good in that. Germans, they can gossip for good. And they are looking at you like that and they are gossiping about you. Yes. So those are the things. But let's come back home. So this lady talked about re-migration. And at the tail end, AFD and CDU voted for a stricter migration policy. That was a big win. That was a big win for AFD and a big loss for CDU. Because since they voted for this, Angela Merkel and other top politicians, they distance themselves. They distance themselves completely from Friedrich Merz. They distance themselves from him because it's like he was going against the agenda of the Union. This one gave at least, it gave AFD one more point, but it reduces about 2 to 3 points for CDU. Only this mistake that I'll call it a mistake because most CDU people or most unions, they see it as a mistake from Merz. Yes. That's why I call it mistake. So these are some of the things that is shaking the place now. But thank God, the Bundestag rejected that same policy. And it baffles me a lot that during the time where they were voting, FDP also voted for that particular policy. What a shame. People who are just leaving the coalition, who were part of the coalition government, they voted also for that. That was a disgrace. A shame and a total disgrace. That is how I will address it. Yes. It was a shame and a big blow to their faces. How? Why? So these are some of the things that we are talking about. AFD, after they voted for a stricter migration policy, AFD gained one more point, while CDU lose about 2 to 3 points on the opinion polls. I mean, in the opinion polls. These are the things. That is why you see me, I say that Germans, some of them are visionary. But majority of the German politicians are not visionary. They are not visionary at all. They are not visionary at all. Call a spade a spade. Majority of German politicians are not visionary. We are saying that African politicians, they are doing belly politics, stomach politics. But come to Germany, it's all about interest politics. Come to Western world, it's about interest politics. Just like what happened in November in the US. That the same platforms, Facebook, Twitter, and other social media platforms, who froze Donald Trump accounts. These were people that he worked with them last year and get victorious. So it's all about interest. That's the truth. It's all about interest. In the West, politics is all about interest. That is what you have to know. In America, in the UK, in Canada, in Australia, just know that it's all about interest. Yes. Why I talk again about Germans don't even have visionary. They don't have visionary leaders. It's because everything, if America cough, Germans, they will swallow it. They will not know that this cough, they too can have that sickness. They will not even know. Everything America says, Germans, they will take and swallow and put it into actions. That's why you hear me say they don't have visionary leaders. Because how can you impose sanctions on Russia? Russia who is supplying you with gas. 55% of your gas that you are using in Germany is being supplied by the Russians. And you impose sanctions on Russia to start buying gas from America at 40% more. 40% the price that you were buying from Russia. Ha! Are these German politicians really reasonable? Wait, oh. You impose sanctions on Russia. Impose sanctions on Russia because they invaded Ukraine. They invaded Ukraine. Who provoked this war? Is it not the West who provoked this war? The West provoked this war. They wanted this war to happen. All this was a conspiracy of the United States. All this was a conspiracy of the United States. In that, when Russia invade the Ukraine, then they are going to impose economic sanctions, economic and financial sanctions on Russia. And then Europe will also follow, because Europe is just like a sheep. When America says something, they just follow. The only place that you see Europe, they have power, is to come to Africa and start making bala 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 bala. To those our missed leaders, those missed leaders that we have in Africa. Some of those missed leaders. Immediately you are an African leader that you don't abide to what the Europeans and the Westerners they want. They put you directly in their sanction list. They sanction you directly. They sanction some members of your cabal, and they sanction also your country. Depending on how they want to give that sanction. Like what we see is now happening in Burkina Faso. Because the fact that Burkina Faso kicked out the French, that is why they impose sanctions on Burkina Faso. Shame on you. Shame on you. But this is this is the West. Simple policies you people cannot put in place. Simple policies you can't put in place. Why? Tell me why. That's why you hear me talk about Germans, they don't have visionary leaders. Because you impose sanction on Russia. Now you are buying gas from America. 40% more than what you were what you were buying from the Russians. No. Good evening, my sister. Thank you for joining. That's it. You impose sanction on Russia. Now you are unable to buy gas from the Russians. You are crying. Prices of everything that they have gone up. Now the people who are working, the people living in Germany are the ones suffering because of useless politics that those at the Bundestags are playing. Because everything America says, if America cough like that, they will take the cough and swallow, without knowing that that cough will also infect them, will also make them have, if it's a bacterial infection or viral infection, they will also have that sickness. And that is what is killing the Germans. That is what is killing the Germans. All this conspiracy theory, gone are those days that people don't know about what they call conspiracy theory. The conspiracy theory is what everyone is now aware of. Yes. We are now aware of what the conspiracy theory is all about. You impose you impose sanctions on Russia. Russia stopped to supply you gas because of what? And the same Ukrainians sponsored the people who were the people who bombed the Nord Stream 2 pipeline. Ukrainians sponsored by the United States. The thing that is making me going mad is because America, the United States, America, they are the creators of all type of rubbish. They are the creators of all type of rubbish. They will come. I don't understand. Who make America the police of the world? These are some of the issues that is just going and is just making people going crazy. Imposing sanctions. If you want to see any good leadership in Africa, if they notice that a leader is in Africa who is doing something for its people, for his people, that is what the West, they don't like. They like that you listen to them. Not listening to your people, listen to them. The West want to control everything. Let me come back to Germany. As I said, you hear the AFD, they talk about remigration. That's the one to deport. They want to deport anything deportable. Don't mind this thing that you hear they are talking about, oh, those who have residence, they will not deport them. And they are not only talking about deporting, they are not only talking about deporting people with I mean, people with criminal offense or criminals or what. It's not all about that, or the asylum seekers. It's not all about that they are planning to deport. The real thing that the AFD are keeping is inside of them. It's inside of them. The real thing. Because one thing that you ought to know is that they plan to revoke, I mean, the naturalization for a lot of foreigners. They plan to revoke it. And when they revoke it, know that you now have your country passport. And at any time, they can deport you back and then cancel whatever thing that they want to cancel. It's normal. That is their plan. So forget about all these things that you hear. They are saying this. AFD has a very, very negative plan. Because if they don't have a negative plan, Alice Vader would have come and distanced himself from all these Nazi quotes. Who are sponsoring her? Who are the people sponsoring Alice Vader? You think that people are just talking, or the media is just talking because they want to talk? Go and look at it behind. They are Nazis sponsoring this woman. A lot of people who are sponsoring this woman are Nazis. Because I don't understand. Now, if you see a German, you call a German a Nazi. Oh, it's beleidigung. It's abuse. It's abuse. It's insult. It's beleidigung. They can sue you to court. But you hear live a politician tell a fellow politician that Nazi, you are a Nazi. A German president called a politician rats. Call that party rats. Everyone in that party is a rat. So they have given us the opportunity to start calling them Nazi now. Abi, Nalato. Anyway, that's not our portion because we're not grown up like that. We were not brought up like that. We did not grow like that. We grow up, we know how to give people respect. The real agenda of AFD, you can only see that real agenda of AFD when they get that chancellor post. I'm telling you people. Go to states where AFD are the rulers there. You see fire that is happening there. You see the torment that foreigners are getting there. Of course, as a foreigner, there's no need that you come to another person's country, you not behave like one. Why going out there to kill children, to kill people? Why? Is it a good thing? Why going out there to kill people? You carry knife, you carry guns, you go to Christmas market, you take car, drop to Christmas market, kill people, you take car, enter here, or take guns, enter here, take knife, enter here, kill people. Why? Why? You are not a giver of life. Why are you taking another person's life? You are not a giver of life. Why taking another people's life? Let's be humble. A lot of things are happening in Germany. What we all are praying, we are all praying for a positive change. Change that will respect humanity. Change that we preach love. Change that we preach unity. Change that we preach passion. A lot of things. And we not preach hatred. They will not be preaching hatred and all those things. No. We are praying for a better Germany. For a better Germany where I can go to the Christmas market and feel free. Where you allow, you know that your children, when they go to school and then they go to school to kindergarten, and when they go for excursion, you will not be scared of that something bad will happen to them. This is the type of Germany that we are all hoping to get. A Germany where everybody will love one another, irrespective of your origin or your background. That is the type of Germany we are praying to have. We keep a spade. And I don't think it's only us who are praying to have this type of Germany. I believe even the politicians too are praying to have this type of Germany. We know that wheresoever you go in this world, even in our own countries, we have the good, the bad, and ugly. We see that one of the worst people, one of the worst set of politicians are politicians from Africa. Some will even take power and stay in power for 40 years, 40-something years. They will never leave. They will become ancestors. They will sit in power and become ancestors. You will look at them, you will know that you are seeing an ancestor. These are just some of the things. So that is what I have to talk about this three party, the SPD, the CDU, and all those things. Yes. So let's come back home now. Some Germans they are talking that, they are saying that people are not working, foreigners are not working, foreigners are not working, of course. Yeah. So we all know that a lot of foreigners are not working. I don't even want to talk about our people for now first. But we see that most of the foreigners who are not working are these foreigners from Syria, Ukraine, and other places where they are given the VIP treatment. And then they will give Africans who will come to seek asylum here, they will make them as if they are nobody. But we all have blood that is flowing in our bloodstreams. We all have brains. We all have brains. It's just like when you are somewhere walking. When you are somewhere walking, you see a lot of Germans. They have their thing of white supremacy. White supremacy, white supremacy. But I will tell you, my brother, my sister, if you are walking somewhere, you know you have brains. You know you have brains. Don't make yourself feel inferior. Because, and I will not say you give the Germans chance or you be so hard on them. No, that's not what I'm saying. You have your brain, you know your limit. Respect hierarchy. Respect hierarchy. Respect the policy that governs your job. Respect the policy that governs your job. But don't allow somebody to bring the white supremacy on you. Or don't allow somebody to belittle you at workplace. Be it a white or be it a fellow skin color person. Don't. Don't. Yes. And for some of us who have children in these their schools, please, when they call for PTA meeting, go there. Because it's very important. Go there. If your child comes back from school, always ask, how was school today? What did your teacher say? Anything happen? Good, bad, the ugly? Ask your children. And if you know that he or she says something bad, know that you write it down. And when she comes back again another time with that same thing, you go now and face that school. Face that teacher. They make a formal report to the head teacher of that school. Make a formal report. Send it there. If they don't react, when you go there during that PTA meeting, strike immediately. Striking means that you go there and you react with respect to that thing and give your warning. You are not saying anything. You are not going to harm somebody, but give your warning there that your child always say this. And if the school doesn't take any action on that, you yourself, you will take an action. You either inform, request, ask the child welfare. Child welfare is there, they protect children. You go to the child welfare and report it officially with the copy of those letters that you've sent already to the school. And the child welfare will react with respect to that. Mark my words. Don't go first to the lawyer. No, go to the child welfare and report it, that this is what is happening in this school. And they will call to that school's attention. Yes, I tell you the truth. Let's come back home. So, to our people who are asylum seekers, some of you, to better up yourself, if you know you are an asylum seeker in Germany, to better up yourself, please try to do language. Try to do language. Do language and try to do a trade or a training, vocational training, any form of vocational training that you know you can. Try to do it. This can enable you to get your residence here in Germany. It can enable you to get your residence in Germany. Gone are those our days that we came here. We're not even having work permits. For those of you who think you can work, I will tell you the truth. If you are an asylum seeker and then you decided to start working when you have not learned the language is called integration course. Integration course, because the first thing for you to be in a country is when you start by doing integration course. Do integration course so as to better up, to know the basic to know the basics on how you can introduce yourself when you go to somewhere. Don't only sit and say something that you are not supposed to say. Or you think that you are comfortable here, whereby in your own country. Because some of our people, when they were back home, they say, oh, when I reach Germany, the way I go walk, the way I'm going to walk, I will walk like a jackass. But you reach Germany, the fact that you know that there are social benefits, you reach, you start sleeping and watching Netflix. You start sleeping and you want to attend just parties. You start sleeping and smoking only cigarette. You start sleeping and drinking only your beer and all those things and going to stroll in the city, paint face. Oh, they have to look at me. They have to look at you. Fine boy, fine girl. Oh, like that. No, no. When you come to Germany, try to do an integration course. Do an integration course to integrate yourself. And there's a budget that Germans they have put in place for everybody. If you do an integration course, I tell you the truth, and then you go there and want to learn a trade, depending on which field that you are good at, the government is going to sponsor you to do that. The government is going to sponsor you to do that. Gone are those days when we came here. If some people had the opportunity to do it during that our time, but we were not given that opportunity to even learn language. To even learn language while you were still under asylum status. Yes. But now, during those our days, we were having but analog phones. We're having the analog phones. But now you see an asylum seeker having iPhone 15, iPhone 16. That even somebody who is working full-time work cannot even afford iPhone 13. Not that the person cannot even afford it, but it's just that when the person look at other bills, when the person look at other ends that he or she has to meet, the person will tell you that he or she is comfortable with the toy that he or she is having. Yes. It's like that. And then, that is for the asylum seekers, for the foreigners. I'm talking this man now particularly to our fellow African people. I'm not coming from Asia. I'm not coming from where I'm coming from Africa. So I'll talk this one because my people in Africa are in my mind. Because when you go to shops and then you're going out of the shop, perhaps you are in a line with 3 other white people, and you see that shop bell rings or that alarm there rings that, oh, somebody is taking something out. The first person, since you're an African person, they'll start pointing fingers to you first. So these are just some of the things. So that one that I've said that is for asylum seekers. As an asylum seeker, if you have the opportunity to do an integration course, please do that integration course. Try to upgrade yourself thereafter by doing a trade, a vocational trade. They call it beruf or Ausbildung. Do something to build up yourself. And when you build up yourself, when you are done with this thing, go get to work. Get to work. And before you're surprised, 1-2 years later, they will call you that you should come and take your residence. I tell you the truth. It has happened with a lot of people. Take it serious. Germans like people who contribute to the economy. They don't like people who just sit lazy and just there delivering chains of children or just sitting at home attending every party. Germans don't like this type of people. They like people who can contribute as well to their economy. And I believe that thing is like that in every country. Insofar as you can contribute to their economy, they are grateful because you are bringing something that the government is using to keep the country going. We also know that in some places there are stricter laws that some asylum seekers don't even have the right to work. But if you know that you're an asylum seeker, you don't have a right to work, and then they can give you the right to go and do an integration course. Go and do it, because from there it can take you to go and do an Ausbildung, and after you do that Ausbildung, they notice that they have done an Ausbildung. That city or that state will allow you have a work permit that you can enter into the job market and start contributing and doing things for yourself. It's just normal. So, and then let me also come back now to some of our people. Those of you, we also know that we have a lot of Africans. We have a lot of Africans who are here in Germany, just seated at home. Africans with residence, even Africans with passports. Africans with residence and Africans with passport, they are there. Just seated at home, don't even want to do anything. I'm here now for you guys. So the thing is, I will start this by saying that if you like, you can call me names, but I will tell you the truth. If you are an African having a work permit, a residence and having a work permit, or you're having a passport and then you don't just want to work, my brother, my sister, I tell you one thing, you are killing yourself. If you don't want to work, you don't want to do anything with your own life, you are killing yourself. Because perhaps you are having your residence, you have not even done a German language integration course. You have not done it. I know so many who have not done it. They have not done that. But depending on the city where you live, you will just decide, just sit at home. You want to be eating the money because the fact that the fact that the social benefits are coming to you every month, they are paying your rent. My people, listen. They are paying your rent. They are paying your insurance. They are giving you allowances to feed as well. If you have a family, if you have children, they are giving also to your children to feed. My sister, my brother, why not think that this thing is coming from those who are working and they are in pains? Why not think that? This thing is coming from those who are working and they are not happy about it because they will get over half of their salary and bring to people like you and settle your own scores. Why they themselves will suffer. But they are the ones getting up perhaps 4 a.m., 5 a.m., 6 a.m. or working in the night. Why? How can you see an able person, an able man, an able woman just seated at home, don't want to work? Some will even sit just giving birth. Every year they are giving birth to children. Every year. Or every 1.5 years, they are just giving birth. They are just giving birth. At the time you see there with chains of children. My sister, my brother, you can have those children because you want to have the kindergarten. But there's one thing I want to tell you. You can have those children because you want to have that kindergarten. Some, they will have those children, make problem with the man, and then the man will start paying child support. They go out for child support and kindergarten. My sister, you are deceiving yourself. You are deceiving yourself. If you think this is going to make you, or my sister or my brother, if you think this one is going to make you be more or be so useful in the society, I tell you, you will never be useful. Because there come a time in life when as these children are growing, that's how their demands are increasing. As the children are aging, they are becoming of age, their demands increase. It will come a time when they want to go for excursion in a foreign land. You may not be able to sponsor it. My sister, my brother, I'm telling you, be careful. Don't think sitting at home, not doing anything, you don't want to learn the language, or you don't want to do an integration course to help yourself. You don't want to do a vocational training to help yourself. You don't want to work. What else do you want? Why are you having that paper then with the work permit? Why? Why are you having that paper? Why did they even give you that paper? Why did they even give you that residence? That residence. Why did they even give you that residence since you don't want to work and you don't want to do anything? Why did they give it to you? You just sit at home. You just sit at home and you're not doing anything. And one thing I would like to tell you, you see these people who just sit at home, not doing anything. When it comes to docking, knocking, these people are the champion. They are the champion. They can knock. When the children are going to school or kindergarten, they will knock in the morning, knock in the afternoon. When the children are sleeping, they will still knock. These are some of the things. Quote me anywhere. See people who are not doing anything. They are very good in knocking. I tell you the truth. They are good in smoking, good in drinking, good in doing all type of crazy things. But it is not the right way. You are my brother, you are my sister. It is not the right way. I have to tell you the truth. Do something to help yourself. Do something to better up yourself. Do something to help yourself. Do something to better up yourself. It will never help you if you think you sitting at home is the solution and not doing anything is your solution, or you think it's going to help you in future. Of course, my sister, is not going to help you in any way. Quote me anywhere. I will tell you nothing but the truth. Yes. Tell you nothing but the truth. It's high time to call a spade a spade. So for some of us who are already having passport and are working or something like that, the choice is now yours. The choice is now yours. On the 23rd, I believe everyone who is having passport must have received a letter to go out there and vote. The choice is now yours. You have seen the canopy where AFD, CDU, SPD, Greens, and all the other smaller parties, you have seen the canopies where they all hide themselves. The canopy that you think that you can vote, please give your vote onto it. I will not sit and give my vote for example, I will not sit and say, oh, this party is good for Africans. How is it good for Africans? How is it good for Africans? Let me vote for this party. How is it good for Africans? Or this party is good for this type of people. How is it good for this type of people? How is it beneficial? The fact is that it's not about this party being good for these people or this party is good for these people. The thing is, insofar as we live in Germany, we all want a better and better Germany. We want a peaceful Germany. We want a loving Germany. We want a Germany whereby everyone will be able to say something. Everyone will be able to contribute. That is the type of Germany we want. A loving Germany where nobody will see you as a skin color person and say, I thought skin color people like this live on trees or something like that. Or somebody, a little child will see you and start calling you monkey or macaca or something like that. No. That is the type of Germany we want. We want a Germany whereby we'll pass somewhere, we'll do things, we want a brother. We all will be our brother's keeper. That is the type of Germany we are looking for. We should not forget that we have children here. We have children. If yesterday, perhaps the knife attack or what type of attack, the Christmas market attack, happened to someone else, no one knows. Perhaps another time could be yours. Let's be prayerful for this country. Let us be prayerful for this country. Let's be prayerful for this country. Yes. And for you all, my brothers and sisters with all passport, well, I will go and give my vote where it is deserved. I've already seen the canopies of, for example, CDU and AFD. For these ones, they will not get my vote. It is clear. Of course, they won't get my vote. They will not get my vote. So my vote is now directed to SPD and as well as Green. There are two votes. One of my votes will go to SPD. One of my votes will go to the Greens. That's what I'm going to do. We know that SPD, they are fucked up. The Greens, they also fucked up. They joined SPD, they fucked up as well. But if we should not forget that, well, in the time of Edmund Cole, he fucked up in certain things. And others too, they fucked up in certain things. And we should not forget that this coalition was with three people, was within three people, SPD, Greens, and FDP. So we have never had a coalition. I don't think there have ever been a coalition here in Germany where it involved three people. I don't know. I cannot even recall, but perhaps it has once been there, but I cannot recall. I'm sorry about that. But the thing is, this coalition was within three people. So we should just take that one into consideration. The only thing that I would plead with some of you, my brothers and my brethren out there, is give your vote where you think it will be right and will make Germany great again. And it will not only be, because there's no country where you don't have foreigners. Yes. So let's give our vote to where it's supposed to go. We know that SPD, they are fucked up. We know that Greens, they are fucked up. But the truth is, God can have mercy on people. God can be kind to all of us. Of course, we can still decide and give the SPD another chance. We can still decide and give the SPD another chance. So my brothers, my sisters with passport, I can only advise that give your vote where it's good, you think it goes. You now know the position of SPD, you now know the position of the Greens, you now know the position of the CDU, the Union, you now know the position of AFD. I will call these parties because they are the major front runners. So guys, the thing is, give your vote where you think it rightly supposed to go. And if it goes there, it will not only be beneficial for them and themselves, but it will be also beneficial for for us foreigners, not for some of us, but for us foreigners. We should not forget that it's not only our people who are not working. Even you also have some lazy Germans who are also not working. But that should not even concern us. It shouldn't even bother us. Why I say it shouldn't even bother us is because, let's take, for example, with our countries where we came from in Africa. You cannot just get a job like that. You don't even have freedom of speech. So if Germany, they have welcomed us and they have given us, to a certain extent, things that we need, why do we have to sit and call them names? I know that at times it's challenging, irritating, and it's provocative. Well, it's like that. At times it's happened to me. When I'm provoked, I will react. When I'm provoked, I will react. And I will react perhaps with harsh words or with insult. But that is the life of humans. So let us pray and to have a good Germany. Let us pray to have a better Germany. Let us pray to have a Germany whereby our skin color children will not be evaluated as a result of the color of their skin or with respect to the color of their skin. I repeat, let's try to pray for a better Germany where our children who are skin colored, they will not, when they are in school or when they are in other places, they will not be evaluated with respect to the color of their skin, but with respect to what they have upstairs, with respect to their personality, with respect to their personal integrity. They will be evaluated in that way. No one can see your child and say, forget about that one. But before the person says something like that, the person will say, oh, hey, this child is a brain box. I need this child's brain to take and go forward and to take and move my work forward. Let's make it in such a way that our own children, as I said, our own children will not be evaluated with respect to the color of their skin, but with respect to their personal integrity, what they have in their brain, and also their mode of life. So I'll end this video here now. So for all those of you who attended the live show, I will say thank you so much and appreciate it. And I really, really appreciate your time here. I really, really appreciate your time here. And for all of you who come to watch this video later, please, you drop us your comment, drop us the feedback on the comment section. And whatever be the case, we're going to get back to you. And hope you had fun with the video and all those things like that. Well, all these things is just to make Germany great again. And as I said, to make our children not to be evaluated with respect to the color of their skin, but with respect to their personal integrity, with the personal integrity, the mode of life, and with what they have upstairs. So thank you guys for your time so much. Please keep on sharing this video. Keep on sharing this video to all your Facebook platforms, Instagram platforms, Twitter platforms, as well as TikTok platforms. Keep on sharing the video. Thanks so much for your time, and you remain blessed. I'm your one and only one, the game changer, the epitome of the mindset. See you in another show. Take care and remain blessed. Bye-bye.